What's up, everyone? This is the Sweater Weather semifinal round, rookie division. We're going to be working you through some guides here, getting you guys set up and squared away on how to play these holes. One of the things that you'll see here, I have a Mojave ball out. I'm going to go for the blast it method. Try to land down here midway in the fairway. It's going to land about 5 rings over. So I'm just kind of looking at the edge of my bullseye there. And let's just blast this. You can also see that I'm putting some right spin on it. You can see we're over here in the rough to the side of the fairway. I kind of like playing from the rough, and you'll see that I'm kind of intentionally over here to the right hand side as well. That's to give myself a little bit straighter arrow. Keep in mind this is just a semifinal, so I'm going to just try the best that we can to put up a solid round. But with that in mind, we are just on a semifinal round. Let's just look here. I do have a voodoo. I know this isn't a voodoo, but I'm going to use this just as a guideline and say this is right around half club. Give it the best chance we can. Get the rookie bag set up here. We're just going to look at our mid number here, very close to it. Saying about 10 rings. Thinking it might go just a little bit beyond 10. So there's like 11 and change. Let's just give this a go. Just a hair on the light side, but you can also see the backspin, not quite enough backspin. We are just trying to make sure that we get, especially for rookie division, all of our approaches 800 or above typically. With that shot, we could have played from the fairway, played a wedge in there, kind of an alternate approach. Either or is an acceptable method. Let's just see where we are in terms of club span here. This gives you an idea of what balls to be using. So there's the min club number. We're just a little bit inside min. Keep in mind this is also a really great time if you did want to use practice tokens. These are perfect holes for you to take advantage of that. So you're seeing here my mid number is 4.8 or so. We're very, very close to min, so I'm just going to push it right down here. 8.4, say maybe 4.6. And as I mentioned, it's a good opportunity for you to utilize some of those practice tokens just to really hone in on that pin. So here you can see we are just a little bit too much on the ring adjustment. And that's where, hitting some practice shots going to give you just a little bit better indicator on how much you're adjusting. You can also try to be a little bit more precise than I was on my shot. But also keep in mind, a lot of times I play the course. We're in a semifinal round. We have to qualify. That's the most important thing, is we need to just focus on getting through to the next round. So I'm just going to make sure that I do that for this round. And we can focus on high scoring next round. So here's a loop. You can see with where I'm aiming, I've been trying to hit this cut shot above the water here. So that's more or less what you can see that I'm doing. Just kind of aiming over here. Just cutting it over the trees. Let's see if we can hold the fairway. Nope, just a little too. Oh, wow. Can't believe it says out of bounds on that side. You got to be a little bit careful, apparently. So we'll try to tee up, and these are good shots to hit practice, but you can also use reference aim as well. Look where I am in relationship to the water, and you can kind of copy my spot. Let's just try this. Oop, I hit the tree again. So as you can see, a couple shots out of bounds. But I do like getting to the other side here. This is one of those things that I just try to get dialed up if we get the opportunity to do this in the final round. And you can see each time I'm just kind of doing it just a little bit different. Yep, it hit the tree again. So we're just dumping this out. So if you guys have a replay available, recommend, potentially just restarting over. Let's just try right around here, see if this does it. Man, it hit the tree again. So, oh. All right, I'm done with that. So, not the greatest wind angle. We probably want a wind pointed in a different direction. So let's walk you through the layup shot here. And the only thing I'm going to try to do here is just hug the right-hand side of the fairway. That's exactly what you can see I can do with the ball here. The more you hug this right-hand side, the easier that second shot will be to stay within range. You can see this is for bogey. It is what it is. Like I mentioned, all we have to do is qualify though, because we're only in the semifinal. I test these shots out for you so you know whether or not they can be done. And not the greatest, as you can see, opportunity. So you probably want to avoid trying to go over the water on this one. This is saying at the max line right around 5.4 rings or so. And that's the downside to staying on this side. It's coming in nice. Just a little bit hot. You can see it wound up behind the pin though. Just came in just a little bit hot. So if you can crank up the backspan a little bit. Looks like a pretty good adjustment. So you can see if you just play it safe on that hole, easy birdie, but it's also going to make it very tough for you to get that eagle. So that's the downside. And what we're going to do for this one, a lot of times I like playing these lightning rod shots. Something to the effect of this. This is about what, 3 rings for max. Let's put that in our list here. Ten rings. So let's give this a whack. See what it looks like. See how fast it comes in. And it's on the green, rolling out. Oh, it breaks to the right. So good opportunity for you guys to use a practice there. Really hone in on that pin. You can see the overall strategy. Just land it on the front, let it roll out. Lightning rod is really nice for showing you the shot view. Comparatively to early Bigfoots. So you'll see that I utilize that club a lot when I can. And here's some holes that we can finally start to take advantage of. So landing on the green is usually what I like to do here. And you see I'm going to utilize some right spin. That's going to make it so the ball comes in. And the driver here. If you guys don't have a Barchetta 3 yet, you can try to use some pins. And I'm going to just play this through the tree about 3.7 rings. And here you can see it lands on the front, just rolls through. So 2 backspin on the front of the green is very nice. If you don't have 2 backspin yet, one of the easiest thing that you could do is you could just add a backspin pin. It's going to be the easiest. And you can see that really helps your tiebreaker when you get it in there relatively close. So you want to focus on doing the best that you can for that one. Now this hole specifically, into a headwind, you're probably going to want to play and kind of lay back a little bit. So that's what you can see that I'm doing here. Something along the lines of this. Be just a little bit of top spin. So watch how much this rolls out. You can see where I am. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Wind. Took it over to the rough. So you got to watch your wind effect. As you can see, this put me in the trees. This is a good indicator for you guys to just make sure that you watch that wind effect. Wind effect is going to dictate where this ball goes. With the last round, I had it rolling out to the right. I didn't realize that it rolls out whatever way the wind is pointed. So what we're going to do, and this was the point, was to lay up to Bigfoot range. And you can see I barely stayed within Bigfoot range. So let me give you guys a side view. It's this tree just north of this tree. And you probably want to make it to this poster here. So if you make it to this poster, you'll stay within Bigfoot range. So that's the 3rd poster on the left. So you guys can use that to your benefit and have a little bit better tee shot than me. We're going to make this work, and I'm just going to utilize some of my backspin instead of all of it. We'll do 9/6. Whatever the max ring adjustment is. 610 it's saying. We're going to go right around 610. Zoomed up view. You can see we're right at that red line. That's exactly. And I'm going to just come off a little bit of the backspin since we did go into that red. So here you can see it's coming in nice, coming in nice. Oh man, it's breaking to the right again. I would think wind direction would trump and it would just roll out to the left, and that would have been right there for a hole out, but not able to overcome the break. Apparently it breaks right. The wind effect not strong enough to pull that one into the cup. But you can see we give it a nice go. You want to stay aggressive on some of these shots. Same thing here. Similarly, we're just going to kind of lay up here. We can, this is my Viking off the tee. This is Viking off the tee, very short drive. 8.2, 4 rings. And all we're trying to do is just kind of stay within Bigfoot here. These are the strategies that I would recommend for you guys to start picking up on. Here's Max Club. This wasn't the greatest. So again, just a little bit short of where we needed to be. Let me show you where this is. Here's another banner. I'm in line with it. If you would have just got it up to here. So you just need to get it 5 yards in front of this banner, kind of where this shadow is. Once you're in line with that, you are close enough to the hole you can utilize your full backspin. So I'm going to have to play these last 2 holes with partial backspin, landing on the front of the green, and that's exactly how you've seen me play the last 2. Oh, it kicked me out. This is my subscription version, just being a little wonky with 7-9. 5-2. So 5-2. We're going to do this in one pull. Just more than half the bullseye. And here you can see it's coming in, coming in, coming in. Ooh, just over the edge. Just needed just a hair more backspin maybe. But you can see how deadly you can be with these Bigfoot. Just imagine if I had my tee shot just a little bit longer too, where I could hit that backspin fully cranked. Just have it a little bit more controlled. So that's what I recommend that you guys work on. And here is a good opportunity for you to just kind of steal one. So 12-mile-per-hour wind. Good situation for using topspin boosts. If you guys haven't seen these pins, these allow you to crank up the topspin an extra 30 you would have been able to otherwise. So what we're going to do is just kind of aim down this fairway, maybe just a little bit of right curl, try to keep it in line with the pin. And just try to drive it as far as possible. You can see we get up here close to the green. Even if this rolls in the rough, these Pro DX balls, in fact, I'd rather it be in the rough because my Hypnotics is kind of missing more ball guide than my... So like I mentioned, this Hypnotics misses more ball guide than the Ninja does. So I find the Ninja shots to be a little bit easier. But when you're this close, the wind really shouldn't play. It's really just going to come down to the missing ball. Oh, it did still play just barely. So, missed shot there, just barely played. I was hoping I was close enough, and that's why I like being in the rough, because from the rough, that wouldn't have played. So, if you guys do, roll into the rough, don't fret. I shouldn't have just short shot that so much. But you guys can make an easy tweak there and be able to grab that one. And this hole specifically is a good time for you to pull out something like a rookie trophy ball. I'm going to just use one of these Icarus special balls. It's very similar to the rookie trophy, so if you guys want to use a rookie trophy, no worries there. It looks like we need to hit this fairway. We need to make sure this ball lands on the fairway. Maybe give it some curl. I'm just going to kind of adjust my rings, make sure this lands on the fairway, not on the green. You can see once it gets to the green, it just kind of had a much larger bounce. So do make sure that you're landing bounce 1 on the fairway here. Otherwise, it's going to roll out too far for you. So there you can see we got our tiebreaker up. And we got in for a nice easy eagle with this wind. Very nice wind direction for you to be able to take advantage of there. And there you can see with the +2, we would have been, if we would have eagled that, that's a 4-shot swing, we would have got the 12 under. So we would have shot the normal 12 under round. But like I said, all we need to do is qualify. This is just a semifinal round. This is a really good opportunity to use a special ball. So I'm going to do that just so you guys can see some shots that are a little bit more specialty. We'll shoot the back nine with a little bit more rookie trophy, or it's very similar to the Icarus ball. And you can see this is about 0.9 from the pin. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the practice. Let's do 2-3 and let's just see what it says for natural. So max club, it's saying, I'm just going to do 1-4 because you can see it's very close to 1-4. We're just going to try 1-4 rings, and you can see I'm about 0.9 rings from the pin. Be sure to note that. I'm going to pull right around here. Like I said, 1.4 rings. And keep in mind, when we hit practice, it's just a reference of what we're doing. So we're just reference shooting this. Maybe that's just a little bit more than 1.4, 1.45. That's very close to the max number. Let's just give it a go, see what it looks like. And right at it, but you can see it rolls through. So what does this teach us about our shot? It teaches us exactly what we need to do to make the switch, to make the tweak. So that's what we're going to do for the second shot. Here you can see it comes down to a 2.2. How is that going to change things? It's very, very little. I would imagine it's going to come down to like 440 or something. 140, yeah, 139. So it's saying 139 here. So it just comes down 0.07. Very small. All we're going to do is crank that backspin up again. And remember, it rolled through the pin. And it also rolled kind of, so all I'm doing is just kind of moving my alignment. Keeping in mind that it rolled through the pin, so I'm just going to put it right at one ring. We're just going to go right here. Right edge of the hole. And this should be deadly. This shot here should be deadly. So when you utilize those practice tokens, what you'll see is, after you practice, you should be kind of licking your chops a little bit, just knowing this is going to be very, very close, if not in every time. So let's just go right there, which is very close to the max number. Keep it right in the middle of the shot circle. And I'm kind of expecting hole in one here, and sure enough, there it is. It came in just a little bit hot. I could have moved it to maybe 1.1 from the pin, but you can see it slammed the pin straight in. So that's the advantage of using your practice tokens, especially on par 3s. You can see how easily we're able to take advantage of holes like that. So here's a good opportunity for you guys to really just blast this down here. And again, I'm going to take advantage of some topspin. So if you guys haven't seen these pins in the store, highly recommend grabbing some of these pins. They just make shots like this that much easier. If we can get up there on the green, it's going to increase our tiebreaker. You can see with just a Mojave ball, which is a free ball for everybody, we're able to get not only on the green, past the pin. Oh, it just rolled off. So if that would have stayed on the green, and it was just a little bit too much curl, but that gives you an idea of the speed. So if you were to use a topspin boost 20 with a very similar setup as me, you would have kept that on the green, got yourself a lot of tiebreaker points. You can also utilize practice on this. This is a very great hole to use practice on as well. Use the practice. If you saw something like that happen, you can just make a slight tweak. For instance, I didn't even have to curl that, but I didn't know it was going to roll out that heavily to the right. But nevertheless, we still got the eagle. So that's an eagle start to this side. We are already killing it. Here's another hole. And you can see how short this one is. And like I mentioned, these pins are huge. So what you're going to see that I do is I'm going to pull out a different one. So if you guys haven't been pulling out these golf clubs multi, for example, ball pin, so we can get our ball power up. And you can see up here with a full power shot, we'll be able to get to the green. Since this is a narrow window, 4-2 it's saying. Keep in mind we're not going to land this on the fairway, or on the green I mean. We're just going to go right around here, just a little bit more than 4 rings. Ultimate shot, make sure that you're getting those. I don't think this is going to land. It definitely won't land on the green, but does it get up there? And it actually didn't. And you really do want to get it there, so you might want to use a little bit longer pin than I did. Maybe a driver pin, something like that. Because getting it up there, you're going to get that much better tiebreaker. But keep in mind, we're close enough that this wind isn't even going to play. It's just going to come down to your missing ball guide. Can you get the missing ball guide to still stay and go into the hole? And sure enough, I did. I just cranked up the backspin. That's the biggest tip that I can give you guys. Make sure that you know, keeping your ball guide similar to the way that I had it set up. But there we are, eagle, eagle, eagle start to this side. So since we're off to such a hot start, let's try to keep that momentum going. Switch to the spider ball here, or maybe even, why don't we just do, and again, you know, we're playing for rookie trophies, and you can utilize a rookie trophy. It's a good opportunity to pull it out. We're close to the min line here. So this is what, 1 ring. We're going to just keep it just a little bit farther. You remember from the last hole that we had it come in just a little bit too hot. So with that in mind, we're going to try to just make some tweaks here. The min value is saying 2.4. We're not quite at min. We're a little bit more than that. I'm going to go about 2.45. And how can we make this say 2.45? Maybe we just put it down here. And we'll use this. So 2.45 will be for 4.3, which will be our live wind. This is 2.57. So 2.57. So that's just a little bit beyond half, which is right here. It's almost 2.6, so let's just see what happens. And like I mentioned, we're just basically doing this for a reference. That's actually coming in very nice. Oh my goodness, so it came in too hot, but it still went in. So very lucky there. We would have, and keep in mind it was maybe just a little bit light on the adjustment. So 246 for this 4.3. We're going to go just beyond that. But look at what it did on that shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to back this ball guide up just a little bit. Position this left edge of the cup kind of like this, because you could see it was coming in and breaking to the right. And then we're just going to go this 246 number. Should be pretty good. These are the concepts that you guys want to utilize. So I think it's going to just make it that much easier for you to get. Keep in mind, it's kind of a heartbreaker that I just made it and used the practice. So now we got to go live and repeat it. Maybe that's right where we want it. So let's give it a go. So it's coming in very nice, and sure enough, we're able to go back to back. So making the tweak, making it come in, roll in just a little bit slower. The first one was a pretty lucky shot. That second one was more refined. And you can see on this back nine, we've made the first 4 shots. Why don't we just keep pushing? Because these clubs are not even impressive clubs. So let's just see what we can do. You know, what's the best we can do? Maybe this is a time where you pull out Pro D. Ball power. There's a driver wood pin somewhere. I like to use this driver wood. Is this even gonna... It's hard knowing how far this is gonna go. I don't think it's gonna be far enough. I was thinking about doing it like this, and honestly, I think I'm gonna just pull back and we're gonna do this a different way. So why don't we, just to try to keep this round going, we'll utilize a practice. We'll go back to our Icarus ball. Pull this pin off. And we're just going to kind of shoot for B52 range. Or not, Bigfoot range, sorry. Which I'm going to stick with just short of this tree. A little bit of backspin here. So let's just see what this does. Like I mentioned, we're kind of setting ourselves up for Bigfoot intentionally. And since we're in practice, we're just going to kind of reference aim this. You can see it's basically a straight tailwind. You can see I'm just north of that tree. So maybe we'll try, ooh, this is too close. So what you can do, especially since you're in practice mode, you can just back this up intentionally. Maybe go halfway in between these two. So since you're in practice mode, the perfect opportunity to do this. You can see now we're halfway in between these trees. It's not enough. So let's keep going back. So this is just giving us what we need to do. For this shot. Here you can see a nice tailwind, very similar to the first wind they gave us. And where's our alignment? It's almost in the center of those tree bunches. So we'll utilize that for our live shot. And this is basically where we want to be. For about 2 for max. And for this one, with the alignment, I'm maybe going to just put on 1 right spin, because it seems to break left here. And I'm just going to put this maybe right on 2 rings short, because it seems, and maybe that's even still too hot. So let's do like 2.25 or something short of that pin. So we're 2.25 short of the pin. So I got to jump back in here real quick. Get my subscription going. I only have half-hour subscription, so that's why you're seeing me have to do this. I've been streaming longer than that. So like I mentioned, all we need here is a reference. So 135 maybe would be our ring reference. And you can see we're about 2 1/4 rings from the edge there. We're going to go 135 rings. Great shot. It doesn't look like it registered, which is nice. Let's just see how this rolls in. Oh, it's still too hot. So maybe 2 1/2 rings short of the pin here. And all this is doing is it's just giving us a good assessment of what we need to do for our live shot. So what we're going to do, we'll switch to our Holy Driver. It has so much ball guide because we know we're supposed to be, can't even do it with Holy Driver. Look at that. So let's do it with our Viking, which is fine. I'll just pull about a ring here. So let's do this. Let's get this very left. So we create that nice angle, 235 off the tee. You can see 235 off the tee. It puts it right in the middle of these trees, just like we just were. We'll go 2-3 this time, which you'll see is 146. So 146 in this case. And remember, we rolled over the left edge of the cup and it came in too hot. So we're going to try to make little tweaks on that last revision. So maybe just a little bit more. And you can see 146 for this adjustment. Hopefully we can get this one to drop. That is the goal. So right there. And here you can see it's coming in. It's right on line. Oh, 1799, just a little bit too much right spin there. We had perfect weight. It came in perfect. So you can see that's the advantage of taking advantage of the practice. So anytime you utilize that practice concept, we're going to be able to go light out with our shots. Since we missed that, I don't want to utilize all my practice because keep in mind we're still just in a qualifier. But what I'm going to do, we'll just bend it around this tree a little bit. And keep in mind we're also playing position again. So we're back spinning this just into the shadow. So you can see I just rolled into the shadow here. What this is supposed to do is supposed to keep us into nice Bigfoot range. But we can just dial this up. And you can see this is almost a little bit too far of a drive. So keep that in mind for your guys' shots, is you want to stay out of this shadow. So make sure you stay out of the shadow. I can see this one's breaking to the right. Since it's breaking to the right, we're going to counter that with left spin. And this is, again, very similar to the last hole. It's about 2 1/2 rings short of the hole. So we're going to start 2 1/2 rings short of the hole, and we're going to use very close to that min number. So 135 in this case. And maybe this is even coming in just a little bit too hot at min club. Maybe at max club this is right. So we're going to just back up just a little bit more. That's maybe 2.75 because we're so close to min club here. So make sure that you guys are factoring that in. Your start points, how close are you to the pin? That's such a vital concept in this game. So make sure that you are always considering that. And this is right around 135, 137 rings. And here you can see it's coming in nice, coming in nice. Does it hold its line? Oh, just didn't put enough left spin on there. So we were trying to hold the line by putting on enough, and I was just short of 2 bars. If you guys cranked it into the 2s, that would have been perfect because our wind adjustment was perfect. We just couldn't hold the line. We needed just a little bit more left spin. So keep that concept in mind for your guys' round. Best of luck on that hole. Keep in mind, these holy drivers, this has 90 spin, 90 ball guide already, I mean. So with 90 shot view, we can really hone in on these par 5s, on these drivables, I mean. So we're missing very little ball guide. 1-3. Keep in mind that's with backspin 1-3. So we're going to go beyond 1-3. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of like 1-5, or at least. I usually go at least 10% more, so it would be something like this. If you guys are looking at it. So we're going to go right about 1-5 exactly. Let's just give that a go. And look at this. We roll it in just a hair light. So just a couple more tick marks, and we give that a chance for another ace for this side. So we've really put together an impressive back 9 here. So we really, I mean, you can see it's just everything's 2 under on this side. Even with these clubs, we're just tearing it up on the back. And another tailwind here. I do want to bring this in controlled, so I'm thinking of doing it with red barchetta, maybe some topspin boost, I'm thinking. Try to get this over this bunker if I can. If you can get this over the bunker, it'll really boost up your tiebreaker. You'll see that's what I'm trying to do. Somewhere around here. We can land it up here. I'm thinking maybe a 1% power boost as well. Oh no, I can't do it. I can't do 2 pins. This is what, a 70% ball? Do I have anything that's 75%? Just kind of crank that wind down a little bit. That's 81. So it looks like we're kind of fixed in on this. Just make sure you're utilizing all of that top spin. We're trying to get this over this bunker. But the wind's so small it might barely get over. But that's the goal. Maybe a 3-mile-per-hour wind. It's just a little bit better than this. Let's see if it does it. Oh, it did it. So we just got it, and look at that. Rolls right through the pin, potential for a hole-in-one. And it just stays on the green, giving us a couple extra tiebreaker points. And sure enough, we keep our Eagle streak going. So even down in rookie, low scores are possible. So try to take advantage. And you know, we were just kind of messing around on the front, going free to play. As you can see on the back, we tried cranking it up just a little bit. And we really put up a nice one. So last hole here. And again, like I mentioned, here's a nice tailwind finish hole. You can do one of two things. I'm thinking more power based. So you have something that's a power based pin. That's what I would recommend. So like this, for example. I'm going to crank this up. Get this up here as far as possible. Just a little bit of curl. Bring it in away from the trees with the tailwind. Hopefully it has enough momentum. Oh, it did get there. It's too much. So that's good for you guys. You guys can see plus 25. You know, you could either try tinkering around with that if you don't want to use that much of a power boost. You can see the alternative is just kind of utilize your top spin, or utilize your top spin, and kind of take some of that off. Take a couple bars off, for example, and maybe it's enough for you guys to hold that green. You can also see that it, even with all that curl, it still didn't get left enough. However, we're still able to roll in the eagle, and you can see a perfect, even though we didn't get the 2 par 5s, a perfect eagle back 9. So minus 18 on that back. So really fun, exciting setup. Hopefully you guys can take advantage of that. And like I mentioned, you know, with just a little bit of effort, we're able to do some really cool things. So best of luck out there, guys. Let me know how it goes. Drop some scores that you guys are shooting in the comments. Feel free to throw likes and thumbs up in the video. And see you guys next time. Take care.